Welcome to your deep dive. Today, we're going to be looking at
Okay.
the potential collision of two political heavyweights. Claudia Sheinbaum,
Right?
Mexico's newly elected president,
Mm-hmm.
and the possible return of Donald Trump
Oh.
to the White House. And before we unpack all of this,
Okay.
I want to give a quick shout out to the Merida Magic YouTube channel
Yes.
for their amazing content on Mexican history, culture, and news. Be sure to like and subscribe
Right.
for more great insights.
It's a fascinating situation, to say the least. Sheinbaum's riding high on popularity, but a second Trump term could throw a major wrench in her plans.
Absolutely. And to help us navigate this complex landscape, we have insights from Professor Pablo Calderon Martinez,
Yes.
a leading expert on Mexican politics and international relations, featured in this article from Northeastern University.
Mm-hmm.
He even recently met with President Sheinbaum.
Yes. His insights are particularly valuable. He really gets to the heart of the potential challenges and opportunities Sheinbaum faces with a possible Trump presidency.
So let's set the stage here. Sheinbaum is the first female president of Mexico.
Right.
She's incredibly popular, and her term is just beginning. Things seem to be going pretty smoothly for her so far.
Right. On the surface, yes. She won her election by a landslide, and her approval ratings are sky high. But the possibility of a second Trump term looms large. It's like a calm before a potential political storm.
And speaking of storms, Trump has threatened to impose a 25% tariff on all Mexican imports if he's reelected. Isn't that a bit of a self-defeating strategy? Why would he even consider that?
Well, his stated aim is to pressure Mexico on immigration and drug trafficking.
Okay.
He believes tariffs will force Mexico to crack down harder. However, it's a blunt instrument that could backfire spectacularly, hurting both economies in the process.
Wouldn't that also impact American consumers and businesses pretty significantly?
Of course.
Yeah.
It's a classic example of protectionist policy that often hurts the very people it's supposed to help. The irony is that Trump's tactic could actually strengthen Sheinbaum's position domestically.
Interesting. Could you elaborate on that?
Think about it. A common enemy can be a powerful unifying force. Trump's antagonistic approach could rally the Mexican people behind Sheinbaum. She gets to stand up to this perceived bully, defend Mexico's sovereignty, and look presidential in the process.
That's a fascinating point. It sounds like this tariff threat, while economically damaging,
Right.
could play right into Sheinbaum's hands politically.
Exactly. It highlights the complex interplay between economics, politics, and international relations. This isn't just about tariffs, it's about power dynamics and strategic maneuvering on a global stage.
Okay, so we've got this looming economic threat that could actually boost Sheinbaum's political standing.
Right.
But how does all of this impact her ambitious agenda for Mexico?
Right.
She's got big plans for infrastructure projects and social programs, right?
Absolutely. And this tariff threat throws a massive wrench into everything. Imagine trying to fund new roads and schools with a sudden 25% drop in revenue. It's a nightmare scenario for any leader.
So what are her options?
Right.
How can she navigate this potential crisis?
Well, Professor Calderon Martinez suggests that a lot of behind-the-scenes lobbying is already happening. Mexico is likely trying to rally international support against these tariffs and apply pressure on the U.S. through diplomatic channels.
That makes sense. But are there any other strategies she might consider?
Calderon Martinez also suggests Mexico might even consider using immigration as leverage, essentially saying, if you hurt us economically, we'll make your immigration concerns even worse.
Wow, that's a bold move. But wouldn't that be incredibly risky? What are the potential downsides of playing that card?
It certainly is a risky strategy and one that would need to be carefully considered. The potential for backlash from both the U.S. and within Mexico is high, but it does illustrate the high-stakes game of chess being played out here.
It sounds like Sheinbaum is in a difficult position. She needs to find a way to protect Mexico's economic interests while also standing up to Trump's pressure tactics. And all of this while trying to implement her ambitious domestic agenda.
Exactly. This situation will undoubtedly test her leadership skills and diplomatic prowess like never before.
This is all incredibly intriguing. And to think this is just the tip of the iceberg. Professor Calderon Martinez also had the opportunity to meet President Sheinbaum in person.
Yeah.
I'm dying to know what's she like.
Calderon Martinez found her to be warm, engaging, and genuinely nice. He said it was easy to see why she's so popular.
That's interesting. So she's not just a tough politician, she also has a personal touch.
Yes, and she has a dry sense of humor as well. Remember her comeback to Trump's Gulf of America idea?
Wait, what? Trump wanted to rename the Gulf of Mexico.
He floated the idea, yes. suggested it had a nice ring to it.
Something else. What was Sheinbaum's response?
She countered by proposing that North America be renamed Mexican America,
Wow.
citing an 1814 historical document that used that term. She even quipped, "That sounds nice. No."
I love that she can hold her own against Trump's, let's call them unconventional ideas.
Yeah.
But it does make you wonder, is Trump unintentionally helping her by creating this us versus them dynamic?
That's precisely what Professor Calderon Martinez argues. He believes that Trump's actions, however antagonistic, might actually be playing into Sheinbaum's hands.
Could you unpack that a bit more? How could Trump's actions benefit Sheinbaum politically?
Well, as we discussed earlier, a common enemy can be a powerful unifying force. When a leader is seen as standing up to a bully, especially one from a more powerful nation, it often strengthens their position at home. It allows them to tap into national pride and present themselves as a defender of their people.
So in essence, Trump's attempts to pressure Mexico could backfire by bolstering Sheinbaum's popularity and giving her more leverage to push back against his demands.
Exactly. It's a classic example of unintended consequences in international relations. What Trump sees as a strategy to assert dominance might actually be strengthening Sheinbaum's hand.
That's a fascinating insight. It really highlights the complexities of this situation. But let's shift gears for a moment and talk about something else. Professor Calderon Martinez mentioned his meeting with President Sheinbaum. He actually gave her a copy of his book about NAFTA, right?
Yes. They had a fascinating conversation about the successes and failures of NAFTA, which is particularly relevant in light of the current trade tensions.
Did Professor Calderon Martinez share any insights into their conversation? What was it like to meet with President Sheinbaum?
He described her as very warm and engaging and said she was genuinely interested in his perspectives on NAFTA. Apparently, she has a dry wit and kept things light, even while discussing serious topics.
That's great to hear. It sounds like she has a real knack for connecting with people, which is crucial for any leader, especially in times of crisis.
Absolutely. And it speaks to the complexity of Sheinbaum as a leader. She's tough, she's smart, she's engaging, and she's not afraid to stand up for what she believes in.
It sounds like Mexico's in good hands, even with the potential storm clouds gathering on the horizon. But this raises another question. What kind of long-term impact could a second Trump term have on U.S.-Mexico relations?
That's a big question, and one that's difficult to answer definitively. However, based on Trump's previous actions and rhetoric, it's safe to say that we could see a continuation of the strained relationship that characterized his first term.
What are some of the key areas of tension that we might see play out?
Trade is obviously a major flashpoint. The tariffs we discussed earlier are just one example of the protectionist policies that Trump is likely to pursue. We could also see increased tensions over immigration, border security, and drug trafficking.
So it's likely that we'll see a continuation of the confrontational approach that defined Trump's first term. But how will Sheinbaum respond to this pressure?
Right.
Will she be forced to compromise, or will she stand her ground?
That's the million-dollar question. Sheinbaum has shown that she's not afraid to push back against Trump's demands, but she also understands the importance of maintaining a working relationship with the U.S. It's a delicate balancing act that will require skillful diplomacy and a clear understanding of Mexico's national interests.
It seems like Sheinbaum is walking a tightrope here. On the one hand, she needs to protect Mexico's economic interests and sovereignty. On the other hand, she can't afford to completely alienate the U.S., which is a crucial trading partner and neighbor.
Exactly. This is where her leadership will truly be tested. She'll need to find a way to navigate this complex geopolitical landscape while staying true to her values and her vision for Mexico.
It's a fascinating situation, and one that will have far-reaching implications for both countries and the entire region. So, listener name, what are your initial thoughts on this potential showdown between Sheinbaum and Trump? Do you think she'll be able to hold her own against his pressure tactics?
It's a question worth pondering. Sheinbaum's response will be crucial, not just for Mexico, but for the future of North America as a whole. It's a question worth pondering. Sheinbaum's response will be crucial not just for Mexico, but for the future of North America as a whole.
It's a high-stakes game of political chess, that's for sure.
Ah.
And speaking of keeping an eye on things, I want to remind everyone about the Merida Magic YouTube channel.
Yes, they are a fantastic resource for anyone interested in learning more about Mexico.
Their videos cover everything from history and culture to current events, so you're sure to find something that piques your interest. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to their channel for more fascinating content. And with that, we've reached the end of our deep dive into the potential clash between President Sheinbaum and a possible second Trump term.
It's been a pleasure exploring this complex and intriguing topic with you.
Thanks for joining us.
It's a question worth pondering. Sheinbaum's response will be crucial, not just for Mexico, but for the future of North America as a whole.
It's a high-stakes game of political chess, that's for sure. And speaking of keeping an eye on things, I want to remind everyone about the Merida Magic YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah.
They're a fantastic resource for anyone interested in learning more about Mexico.
Absolutely.
Their videos cover everything, from history and culture to current events, so you're sure to find something that piques your interest. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to their channel for more fascinating content. And with that, we've reached the end of our deep dive into the potential clash between President Sheinbaum and a possible second Trump term.
It's been a pleasure.
Thanks for joining us.